I'm a snoozer.
Welcome to the lighter side of the dark side. It's your weekly freak show here on Renegade Radio. Or if you're listening on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, Deezer, TuneIn, Google, wherever you're listening to us, it's the Dark Mark Show. I'm Dark Mark, the goth comedian, as you know. Got a fun show. We're already talking weird hijinks, and of course I'm going to turn this around as the troublemaker here.
Hey.
Yes. Oh, here she is. Oh, you actually want to be on camera today?
Not really,
Okay.
but I have no choice.
There she is. That's everybody's favorite vegan heavy metal DJ, Hannah Bach.
Hey guys, how are you?
She was just telling us how she did vegan whippets.
Yeah, it was by accident, but it was fun.
Well, we're going to talk about that because I'm still confused about the concept. Now, Julia Montgomery, who was supposed to be here, who was in Revenge of the Nerds, unfortunately, she was ill this week. She will be on next week. But we have the other guest that we're going to have, and that way we get to talk to him more. This has got a fascinating story, as you'll find out. This guy over here, that's Jonathan David.
How's it going?
Comedian extraordinaire. Very funny, and his new one-man show, Signs, will be at the Hollywood Fringe Festival. That's going to be in June. We're going to talk all about it. You thought you had a dysfunctional childhood.
Oh.
Wait till you hear this guy's story. But he's turned it into laughter. And also, we got a special guest in the studio. It's always great. You bring, if I ever am on a podcast, and I never have been on a podcast where like some friend tags along, I never insist that they come on the show. But you always bring friends and you insist they come on the show. Yeah. But I'm glad come on the show. It's like, okay. And without clearing with me first or asking me or telling me. But this guy's cool. I like this guy. This is Brent.
Hello.
And what do you do?
Right now I'm working for a porn agency.
Okay, well,
and
you could have cleared this ahead of time. When Julian canceled, you could have said, "Oh, Brent works for a porn agency. He's gonna be our other guest." I'm like, "Fine."
I just started. I've only been there for like a month now.
Okay.
And I work at a brewery on the weekends.
All right.
Yeah.
Sex and booze.
Yeah.
It's a nice combination.
Cheers.
Yeah, thank you. And Hannah, before we get started,
Yes.
even before the sponsors, we got to say very special. I'm going to turn this around. She's going to hate it, but. That's Morgan.
Happy birthday.
Morgan, our
Happy
producer.
birthday.
It's her birthday. She's turning dirty 30. The reason I'm putting the camera on, and I want people to know, even if you're listening, she has a podcast called Burst Your Bubble. And I highly recommend that if you're on our podcast, on Spotify, Stitcher, or whatever, you check out her podcast. She takes artifacts of arts, things that we know and love, and pokes holes in it, and tells us how fucked up and politically incorrect it really is.
I ruin things.
She ruins things. She bursts things bubbles. She did a number on 16 Candles. Last time, a lot of stuff about prom I didn't know about. The racist and sexist and weird history of that. And homophobic and everything else. So I'm looking forward to seeing what she has to do next. And you know what? Knowing our show, it's probably this show. So, but Hannah?
Yes.
Last week, we went to Do Me Some Cooking.
We went to Doomy's. It was amazing as always. Never a disappointment.
Everyone's favorite vegan restaurant. Now, you're not vegan, Jonathan. That's obvious.
Well, I still love vegan cuisine.
Oh, good.
Well, you would love Do Me Some Cooking then.
All right, I'm going.
Yes. Are you vegan, Brent?
No.
No. But you would love it anyway.
Love me some meat.
Oh, no, you would love this. Well, we got that, but you would love this too. You would love this too. I had the wet carne asada burrito.
Already into it.
It was delicious. And Hannah, you had the chili relleno.
Chili relleno, as always.
Yes.
Never disappoints, but I did have part of your burrito, and it was pretty good.
Yes, and we had Morgan was with us. She had a couple times, I think. And Joy Villa apparently is dieting, so she didn't have anything, which is weird.
By the way, you look great.
All three of you do. So, and but I had the big burrito. It was terrific. And they have a Mexican restaurant. They have also the regular restaurant where they have things like Philly cheesesteak, pulled pork, fried chicken. Oh, yeah. They put a wood stick in the chicken. Mm-hmm. They have deep fried Oreos. They got everything.
And now they just announced that they're having ice cream for this summer with a root beer float.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Vegan root beer floats. Go to 1253 Vine Street if you're in Hollywood, or go to Culver City or Toronto, Canada if you're there. Doomy's Home Cooking, Doomies. The guy's a genius. I don't know how he does it.
And tell them the Dark Mark Show sent you.
Tell them the Dark Mark Show sent you, and they will appreciate that.
Yeah.
And also, one more sponsor, real quick. Did you see the Audible post I posted this week?
I scanned through it though. I was at a red light, so I
Right.
didn't really get a chance to.
Because we're sponsored by Audible. If you go to www.audibletrial.com/DMS, once again, www.audibletrial.com/DMS, you get a free book and 2 free Audible originals. And you get a 30-day trial to Audible. So see, they put a bunch of books that I think are geared for our audience, such as Nikki Sixx's The Heroin Diaries. That's on Audible. They got How to Control Codependent People. Anything you want. They've got all sorts. And now, of course, my phone's messing up. I know they have Corey Taylor from Slipknot has an autobiography. They've got all sorts of things. They've got great comedy albums by everybody. Jim Gaffigan. They've got Brody Stevens' last album. They've got Tig Notaro. They've got everybody except for Bill Cosby and Louis C.K. for obvious reasons. But you can get a free comedy album or 2 free Audible originals. The Audible originals that you can get include Bob Newhart has a show where he interviews comics. Have you heard that?
No.
It's great.
I love Bob Newhart.
They have an Audible original. They have 2 Audible originals, sci-fi books. One read by John Waters, the other by Zachary Quinto, who's in that new vampire Nosferatu show. So, and they got everything. They got a continuation of the Alien Saga with Rutger Hauer. You get 2 free Audible originals, 1 free book or comedy album, free 30-day trial. You cancel the next day, you still keep the books. You don't like one of the books, you trade it in for another one. You can't lose. audibletrial.com/DMS. How many times I got to say it? I'm giving you something for free. Anyway, Jonathan David is here.
Yes, sir.
There you are. Now, Jonathan, I've known you for a little bit. Actually, I really got to know you since I've been back in town. And where'd you grow up?
I grew up outside of Seattle, Washington.
Okay. With Olympia, or where'd you?
I grew up in a little town called Mukilteo, Washington.
Mukilteo, Washington.
Yeah, not Muckleshoot, where they have the casino. Mukilteo, where they have the lighthouse and a ferry.
Oh, so you lived in one of those towns?
Yeah.
The Lighthouse Ferry Town. Wow.
Yeah.
Because I remember like when grunge was big in Seattle. I don't remember this town being one of the big towns.
Well, actually, my older brothers, they went to a different school district than me. They lived we moved like right when I had to go to high school, and they went to the same high school as Lane Staley, lead singer of Alice in Chains.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. Did you ever meet Lane Staley?
No, but I met his drug dealer.
Well, you're going to get to that. I'm sure, that's a good reference. Or is that a good reference or not?
What, Lane Staley's?
I'm Lane Staley's drug dealer.
Do you want me to talk about how I met Lane Staley's drug dealer?
Yeah.
Why not? Since we're doing that right now.
So surprising to everybody who ever meets me for the first time, I used to be a drug addict, and I was living in this heroin den,
right,
where I would do heroin with me and my heroin girlfriend and our friends.
Right. And
this one guy moved in for like a week, and he was tired of living in this van, and he would be let him stay because he would always have large amounts of heroin.
Wow.
So, and he told us a lot of different stories, and he actually was selling Lane Staley heroin all the way up until his death.
Wow.
Wow.
What an asshole.
Well, Lane
Yeah.
went to rehab like 13 times.
Wow. Yeah, I heard like towards the end he was like missing teeth, he was missing part of a leg, like he was pretty rough shape.
He weighed like he was like 6'2" or something like that, and he weighed like 95 pounds.
Wow.
He was not in good shape.
Right. Well, and for people that are actually listening and not seeing this, the reason people are surprised is because you're a chubby guy like me.
Oh yeah, but I wasn't chubby back then.
Oh, I would guess not.
I've since quit.
Oh, really? So it is because I was going to say, to be fat and a heroin addict, that's an achievement.
You can still do it.
You really?
Oh yeah. I mean,
See, I have some goals, and maybe I should reach for that.
No.
I don't know.
I'll put a stop to that.
I know the comedy thing's not going that great. The podcast thing, maybe I'll be the fat heroin addict. That'll be me.
Heroin's expensive. I mean, at first it's cheap, but after a while,
Yeah, that's how they get you.
It's really expensive.
Yeah. So yeah, that's crazy. I can't even imagine you were that heavy into it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, when did you try heroin? Well, since I guess this goes along with the Nikki Sixx. Go after this. You have your own heroin diaries. When did you try heroin for the first time? This is not how I wanted to start out the show, by the way, but I was curious. Your life is so fascinating. We can just drop in on any point. It's fascinating.
I don't remember the exact year, but I'm guessing Probably 2009 or 2010. 2010, I think.
Okay. And just, I mean, I can't even see. I'm so isolated from the drug scene, even being a comic. Other than smoking pot, I don't really. I've maybe seen people snort coke maybe 5 times in my life, and I've never seen anybody shoot heroin that I know of.
Well, I didn't go from just not doing drugs to just injecting heroin.
Right.
There was a progression there.
I was gonna say, so you smoking pot, and then you kind of.
Well, I was smoking pot, and I drank a lot. I actually really never did any hard drugs at all, and then I was really depressed. Met this new girl. She was super hot and really kinky, so I just was super into her.
Yeah.
And she liked doing pills. And she got me to do pills with her.
Okay.
And then
What kind of pills?
Any opiates. So we would parachute painkillers like Percocets or Vicodin. Parachute is when you crush them up and put it in some kind of really thin paper, like a rolling paper, and then you drop them down so that when they hit your stomach, the paper dissolves and just hits you all at once.
Oh, whoa.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You were that advanced with the technique?
Oh yeah. And then we would get Oxycontins, and then we would they have a slow dissolve coat on the oxys back in the day.
Yeah.
When they were still crushable, so we would lick those off and rub them off on our shirts. Then we would take a special kind of grinder, and we'd grind up the pill and snort it up because it'd be really really flaky.
I'm taking notes. Wow. Jeez.
The special grinder is actually it's a clamp for an automobile tube.
Wow, that's pretty powerful.
There's little slits in there that are really sharp, and if you run something through it.
So you're going to AutoZone to get drug paraphernalia?
Yeah. I'd go to AutoZone. 100% right. We'd go to AutoZone. O'Reilly.
Yeah.
Heroin parts. And I would get my drugs parts there. And I would grind up these pills, and we would snort a 80 milligram oxy and just get really high. And
right.
Fuck all night. It was great.
Yeah. Well, but then you go from that to heroin where you're not fucking at all, I'm guessing.
Well, then we started smoking heroin.
Yeah.
Right. And then after a while, it's this is kind of... I'm already doing heroin. Might as well try it once to see.
Well, you're already in Seattle. You might as well.
Yeah, I mean, all of my idols were Kurt Cobain.
Yeah.
Lane Staley.
Sure.
And, just all these people who died from heroin.
Yeah.
All the greats. So I was might as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So I tried it one time. I was I'll just try this one time and see how it feels.
Right.
And so my girlfriend actually, she learned from the internet of all places.
Wow.
Here's the thing, is actually, she knew how to do it better because she learned from the internet and actually researched, whereas most people who learned from somebody else didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
Well, that's how she knew about parachuting and the
that's
O'Reillys.
She was just a huge fucking drug addict. She was the queen.
But at least she was educated about it. She really wanted to. I mean, most people are just fucking take anything and shove it up my ass or whatever. She's no, let's do some research first.
I shove things up my ass too. You can put drugs up your butt. It's called looping.
Like cocaine, you get that blown up your ass, right?
No, so are you doing this to smuggle it or doing it to get the high?
Both.
Okay. How's the high when it's in your ass?
Well, if you can't find a vein, if you're trying to shoot up and you can't.
You got that to that point.
Yeah, you can either muscle it or you can put it up your butt.
Oh, like a booty bump.
Yes,
right.
Exactly.
Well, we're going to talk about booty bumps in a second. But what do you mean? What do you mean muscle? Oh, put it in your muscle?
Yeah, intramuscular injection.
Okay.
So
like vaccinations and things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you have to do a lot more, and it takes a lot longer to hit you, and it's not anywhere near as fun as shooting up in your vein.
Right. But shoving up your butt's got to be more fun.
I mean,
and shoving up her butt's got to be a lot of fun, I would think.
I put lots of things up her butt, but that's a totally different story.
Well, we're gonna get to that too. But so when you're do you ever parachute in the butt? Is that does that happen?
No, yeah. What I would do is I would mix it with a solution and put it in a syringe with no needle, and then lube that up and put it up in there, and then give yourself a little injection.
Wow.
Fun times.
I mean, does it get in your system quicker because it's a delivery system?
Not as quick as in your veins.
Right. Does your ass get numb? Do your legs get numb?
No.
Okay. I didn't know this was going to be such an education today. I didn't want. This is all in your one man show. I'm hoping.
No, I don't go into that much detail. This is how you get it in your butt.
Yeah, I mean, jeez. When I did my one man show at Fringe Festival, it was all about my butt, but that's just me. Speaking all about the butt, Brent. Now you're very fast. You're fascinated by these stories. Now you said you work for porn now.
Yeah, I just started.
You just started. Now, how did you get that job?
One of my best friends is a porn star.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's his or her name?
Her name, Brookhaven.
I've heard that name.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I don't watch a lot of porn. Jonathan, are you familiar?
I don't know any porn stars' names.
Brookhaven.
Sounds like a place I have to live.
Yeah, no, I know that's where they got the name, but yeah, it sounds familiar. I don't know if it's because Hannah was telling me about her or.
I was telling you about her one time.
Yeah,
when
and
I met her. Yeah.
Did I met her?
No, when I met her.
Oh, I was gonna say I met a porn star and I forgot her. All right. So yeah,
Hi, Brooke.
I'm gonna look
Hi,
her up.
Brooke.
yeah, we're all gonna masturbate to you later, Brooke.
Yeah.
But
Not me.
come on, just once.
No, I actually tried watching one of her videos and I couldn't.
Really?
I got to like the boobs coming up and then I was like, no, I can't watch her do this.
You couldn't concentrate on the guy?
No, I just couldn't see her.
It was
It's
gross
like your
for her.
sister.
Yeah. She's like totally like my sister. I wouldn't want to watch my sister.
So you couldn't watch around it?
No, I couldn't. I tried.
Because that's what we do when Ron Jeremy's going at it. We all like watch around it.
I've never seen a Ron Jeremy film.
Bullshit.
haven't?
No, and I won't do it. I won't.
Bullshit.
I'm just gonna know him as
He's in every goddamn porno movie. How can you avoid
because I
it?
don't watch porn.
I don't
I watch
either.
Erotica.
What's erotica? What do you want?
Erotica has a storyline and really, really good.
Well,
actors.
give me.
It's a Brian Jamer's storyline.
Yeah, I saw the first porno movie I ever rented. Ron Jeremy was in it. There was a storyline. It's called Merry Xmas, and it was the first one I ever rented by myself. It was recommended by a guy who worked. No. It was that's a different one. No, it was Christmas, and Santa Claus's daughter goes around and fucks everybody, and
He's Santa Claus.
yeah, and there's an elf.
Oh,
Oh my god.
But Ron and the elf's like sitting there, like every time she's fucking somebody, he's like, fuck her in the ass, fuck her. And then then he gets into it, and Ron Jeremy just pops in and he fucks Santa's daughter because everybody else does. So he's been in like every porno movie I've seen for years.
I just don't get turned on by porn.
I don't either. Sometimes
I mean, I've seen a couple.
you know me, I masturbate to Lifetime movies. I like a story too, but I just
like a cry and a masturbate Lifetime.
right. But what's an erotic? What are you talking about?
Like a
I
Richie
like to have.
Diary.
I like to have like a storyline where the guy.
Twilight is a storyline. You're just dogging it out.
Okay. You take take some like Roman films and everything. What is that one?
Roman films.
Medusa?
Caligula.
I like that. That's a great movie.
Caligula's erotic?
She likes movies about guys who make people eat shit.
I was gonna say, have you seen Caligula?
Yes, I like
That's
it.
erotic?
I like it. It is. It's actually considered an erotic film.
No, it's not. It's
Yes,
considered.
Google it.
I've seen it.
Boring as hell.
I like it. Like I paid attention.
I've
to
seen it.
the
There's a guy with
storyline.
two dicks. I've seen it. There's a guy with two dicks. There's a whole thing. You ever see Caligula?
I've never seen this.
Oh no, this came out in the 70s. I don't know how. I don't know where.
Isn't the guy from Saw in it? He's like the main guy.
No. Malcolm McDowell from A Clockwork Orange
Okay.
Yeah.
plays the Emperor Caligula,
Okay.
and this is in ancient Rome. Penthouse produced this movie. It came out in like 1979, 1980. Helen Mirren is in it.
Really?
Peter O'Toole's in it. Like they had Gore Vidal wrote the story, and what happened was they were gonna make an Oscar-winning porno movie. We're gonna make a movie that has a lot of sex, but is historically accurate and has great actors in it.
Mm-hmm.
Then the guy who produced it, Bob Guccione from Penthouse, saw the rough cut and said, "There's not enough sex. Recut it so there's more fucking," and it was released and it was a bomb.
Yeah.
It was
Like not the bomb, but a bomb.
No, not bomb. It was a bomb. It did not do well. It's on home video. It's gotten a cult following for people to think it's an erotic masterpiece.
It's great. You
Hannah?
have to watch it. It's like Spartacus. I think that's erotic.
Right.
300?
Ooh, that's good too. I like.
So you guys like big
muscular
muscular guys. Now we're gonna get into it. You like big muscular guys.
That's not true.
We were just talking about Taylor Lautner and
A
she
big
said,
muscular guy is going to turn my head, yes, for sure.
yeah,
But not always. I like all kinds of guys.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay. But we were talking about big muscular guys and Taylor Lautner and all that, and you were perking up.
Yeah, I did. Right?
Yeah. So no, we were also talking about poppers, and we want to explain what that is for Hannah because she has no idea.
You know what poppers is.
Well, I know now, but what is it about our audience? Do you guys know?
Oh
what
no, they do. They know.
Yeah, it's so gay guys usually use it they sniff it,
Mm-hmm.
and then when they sniff it, you get like a high off of it. So I actually don't do it. I mean, I do it, but I use it when I'm getting a blowjob.
Okay.
So when I get a blowjob, it makes the feeling more sensational,
Really?
more intense. Yeah.
Because I was gonna say, don't limit it. I know it's it's predominantly a gay thing, but I'm sure straight guys do it.
Yeah, Hunter S. Thompson would do it.
Did he?
Yeah, when you were like would get like too fucked up, you would do a popper to like help kind of wake up. I remember the name of it. It's amyl nitrate. That's the
Okay.
chemical.
I think other guests might be here, but
Yeah. So do a popper, tickle your butt.
oh yeah, yes. Rotten Kitty's in here just as we were talking about poppers. Yeah. Our other guest is here.
Hannah, you ever seen Quills?
Yes,
Yeah.
I did years ago with a.
Oh, come on in, Rotten Kitty. Yes. You can sit wherever you like, wherever you would like. The camera still moves around.